The Supreme Court en banc compels the government to provide full documentation of the 3,000 deaths from legitimate police anti-drug operations. The SC en banc denies Solicitor General Jose Calida's motion for reconsideration, which argues that full documentation will risk national security. Calida will have to produce the documents and submit them to the High Court 15 days from notice. The government is required to submit the following: names, addresses, ages, and gender of people killed, place, date, and time of the drug operation, names of the PNP team leaders and members who participated in the operation, pre-operation preparation, post-operation, whether search warrants or warrants of arrest were issued, and names of media, NGOs, or barangay officials who were present during the operation. The documents are crucial to the main petition that seeks to declare the Duterte administration's war on drugs unconstitutional. The SC en banc's order for the documents to be produced will have an impact on preliminary examinations of the International Criminal Court on the war on drugs. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is conducting a probe into the Church of Pastor Apollo Quibiloy for alleged human trafficking in Hawaii. Hawaii News Now says the FBI is probing Felina Salinas, reportedly the business manager of Quibiloy's Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the name above every name, for alleged human trafficking. Salinas was one of those aboard Quibiloy's private plane when United States authorities found $350,000 in undeclared cash and rifle parts inside the aircraft last February 13 before the group headed back to the Philippines. Quibiloy was temporarily detained while Salinas was charged with attempted bulk cash smuggling. The news outlet says Salinas was previously arrested in 2015 for allegedly assaulting a fellow church member who claimed she was forced to raise money. The alleged victim, former Quibiloy church member Cristina Angeles, said she was made to sell Manapua and Krispy Kreme donuts for church fundraisers, rain or shine. Angeles said church members were punished if they didn't sell enough. She claimed she was slapped and received punches on her arms and legs. But Salinas' lawyer, Michael Green, says the accusation was baseless and the case never should have been filed in the first place. Quibiloy, who calls himself the appointed son of God, leads a church that began in Davao City and now claims to have up to 6 million members in the Philippines and overseas. He is a close friend of President Rodrigo Duterte. The National Economic and Development Authority says the proposed 6-month shutdown of Boracay will have a minimal impact on the country's economic growth, but it can have an adverse short-term impact on the local economy. NEDA says it has submitted its recommendations to the Office of the President. It adds a 6-month closure is estimated to only have a 0.1% impact on the country's gross domestic product growth. Based on data from Boracay Foundation Incorporated, there are over 17,000 employees who will be directly affected by total closure of businesses in the world-famous island. Boracay Foundation adds another 19,000 workers from the informal sector. Beach masseuses, tattoo artists, and vendors, among other workers, will also be affected by the temporary closure. NEDA says it is hoping that the closure will be enforced during the lean season to minimize adverse effects on the economy. The proposed closure date of Boracay is April 26. The Philippines can become an upper-middle-class country in 2019, according to the country's Economic Development Agency. The National Economic and Development Authority says the original target to achieve this is in 2022. But based on the high growth of the country's gross national income, or GNI, this can happen as early as next year. The GNI is the gross domestic product of a country plus its international income. But NEDA Undersecretary for National Policy and Planning Rosemary Edelion says the challenge lies in inclusion, where people from all social classes benefit from economic growth. GNI per capita reflects the average income of a country's citizens. World Bank data says to become an upper-middle-income economy, a country should have a GNI per capita of between $4,036 and $12,475. At present, the Philippines is a lower middle-income country with GNI per capita between $1,026 and $4,035. Dating app Grindr comes under fire Monday after the revelation that it is sharing information about users' HIV status or locations with two companies enlisted to optimize its software. Grindr users have the option of sharing their HIV status and when they were most recently tested. Critics expressed concern that including the health information with other data such as location and email address can result in people being identified. Grindr Chief Technology Officer Scott Chen says sharing data with partners such as Aptimize and Localytics was industry practice and that steps were taken to protect people's privacy. Chen says sensitive data is encrypted when sent and vendors are under strict contractual terms to keep it secure and confidential.